Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, good afternoon. I am Renal Asal from MLE 2D class. I will present about the understanding, characteristic, and example of active sentence and passive sentence right here. Well, active sentence is a sentence whose subject actively does something in the form of a predicate against the object. Meanwhile, passive sentence is a sentence whose subject is a given action in the form of predicate by the object. This is what makes between active sentence and passive sentence opposite. But usually, active sentence can be ascertained and vice versa. Passive sentence can be activated. Well, this is a characteristic of active sentence. The first predicate on active sentence often use a fixed me or verb. Second, the pattern in the active sentence is the subject, predicate, object, and description, or subject, predicate, and object. But here I will associate active sentence with logistic activities. For example, the first example, operator driving forklift. Operator a subject, riding a predicate, forklift as object. The second of example, the operator report that forklift was damaged. Operator was subject, report as a predicate, forklift as object, and damage as description. And the last, for example, operator checks the state forklift in warehouse every week. Operator as subject, checks a predicate, forklift as object, and in warehouse as description. Well, here's characteristic of passive sentence. First, the object contained in the passive sentence is the subject of the active sentence. Second, the predicate element in passive sentence is often will, "he can," or "there can." Third, the template of passive sentence is object, predicate, and subject, or object, predicate, subject, and description. But here I will associate passive sentence with logistic activities. For example, the first conveyor in the warehouse prepared by the worker. Conveyor as object, prepared as a predicate, and worker as subject. Second of example, forklift forecast for company needs. Forklift as object, forecast as a predicate, for needs as a subject, and company as a description. And that usually work by or within. However, the two words can be omitted and the meaning of the sentence will not change. Example. The first, for example, forklift used by worker in the warehouse. Forklift as object, required as predicate, worker as subject, and in the warehouse as a description. And the second of example, every week the existence of forklift in the warehouse is expanded by the operator. Forklift as object is expanded as a predicate and the operator as object. Well, maybe that's all I can present about my task. Thank you for attention. More or less apologize. That's the end of my presentation. Hopefully usefully for all of us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.